Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to the match reaction and player ratings for Arsenal's 1-0 defeat against Manchester City. As I said in the title, disappointed. I'm sad, yes, but I'm not surprised. I expected us to lose. Yes, everyone expected us to lose 4-5-0. So it's very disappointing that we ended up losing. I think I don't know about the guys, HJ and Guna Express. I don't know about you, but which one would be better? Like losing 1-0 without trying or just losing 3-0 and having a go? I'll ask them that question. So Guna Express, how are you?
Bit of both, good, but yeah, poor performance, but I'm all right.
HJ, how are you?
That was a bit of a boring game, to be honest. We didn't try.
Yeah.
City didn't try either. They tried for the first 10 minutes. It looked all pretty beautiful, but then they just stopped. They couldn't care less. After 10 minutes, they were like, oh, let's just focus on the Gladbach game. I said this to Gunnar Express earlier. They couldn't be asked. They really couldn't be asked. We couldn't be asked either. And yeah, what more can you say?
According to your green screen, I can see you leaning towards the Arsenal flag. How about you lean on the other side to the City flag, to the winners, lean on the other side. So yeah, it was disappointing. Sad because of how we ended up losing it within the first minute. That's like the fourth time they're scoring against us in the first minute in like 4 years and four different games. So it's very terrible. And that's their 8th win against Arsenal in the league in a row. That's like 4 doubles in a row. Double without any trials. And we haven't scored against them 4 times in a row. Terrible, man. So as usual, we'll get into the lineups first, and I'll start with you, Guna Express. What did you make of Arsenal's lineup?
I wasn't actually that happy. I think we went a little bit too strong, which I know is a bit of a stupid way of seeing it, but this game was a dead rubber from the beginning to the end. You know, it's still a dead rubber now. I'd have rested Tierney. I see a lot of people saying Tierney should have played. Today's performance proves why he shouldn't. You know, Mahrez was always going to rip him up. He's tired. He's unfit. He's barely played. And you should have just saved him for Thursday. I also think, why is Pepe playing on the right and Saka on the left? Like, I don't really get that one. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Aubameyang playing was stupid. Not that he's a bad player and anything like that. But this kind of game, Aubameyang needs feeding. This kind of game, you're not going to get that delivery that Aubameyang wants. So you should have played Lacazette or Martinelli, who's going to create play for themselves. They're going to drive at the other team and they're going to put them under pressure. And again, we saw it today. Aubameyang didn't do that. And going forward, we weren't good enough. So the lineup wasn't actually, the best that I thought it could have been.
Yeah, HJ, any surprises at the back? Were you expecting Tierney to start?
I thought Tierney was going to start. I knew, knowing Arteta, he was going to risk him today because Cedric would have got ripped more probably. I surprised Murray starts because you have to pay Flamengo $1 million now, which will rip Arsenal's bank accounts, I'm sure, because you have to pay the $1 million to Flamengo. But Oneni, I didn't think he would come in, but he did come in. He was better than Xhaka, obviously, but yeah, it wasn't great. Pepe, I don't know. I thought you'd probably go with someone like Willian because it's a dead rubber, as Gunnar Express said. Maybe I can see where he's coming from when he's saying a bit too strong. But yeah, I was all right with the lineup. I think it was a lineup that if we played it tactically right, we could have got something from the game. But obviously, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I don't agree with you guys in terms of dead rubber. I'll tell you, I Gunnar Express. Like, you don't want to go to the Benfica game having lost 6-0.
No, I know. I don't think. I meant because if we won this game, I thought with the other teams dropping points, we could have had a chance to get higher up in the table. I meant that I could see where Gunnar Express was coming from in that respect.
Yeah, I didn't mean I didn't mean we should go and lose 6-0. I more meant as in it doesn't really matter if we lose in terms of the league table. It doesn't really take us any further back. We already know we're not going to finish top 4. And HJ said, if we did win, we could maybe push for top 6, but I just don't think it would have. The Benfica game is more important. Is basically what I'm trying to say. It's such an important game. We should have saved players for that game in hand. But
so from that, which 2 changes would you have made, Gunnar Express? From that lineup, which 2 players would you have taken out if you had the chance from just 2 players?
Tierney is going to come out because I don't want him getting injured. I don't want him, getting unfit or anything. I want to save him for Thursday. The main thing, and then I'd put Martinelli in up front. Why not? He's barely played. Just let's see what he can do. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I do too.
Cedric is also, you remember Cedric is also kind of injury prone because of, since he came, he's been injured all the time. So maybe if he also plays too many games, he'll get injured and we'll be stuck with one right back and one left back. So that wouldn't be good. So City, let's take a look at City's. I just look at these guys and I'm just like, wow, man. These guys, their second team could also finish top 4 in the league. Like
Definitely.
Ederson can pick up. Ederson, he can actually play in midfield for them. I was actually telling
He's better than our
some people here,
midfield.
like,
Edison is better than our midfield.
Edison's going to take penalties soon.
Yeah, you actually need
Like,
to mark him when he has the ball in his box. You actually need to mark him. Cancelo, Diaz, Stones wasn't the best of defenders, but he definitely improved this season. Zinchenko, obviously better than Mendy as of now. Fernandinho came in, probably a rest for Rodri. Bernardo Silva was very poor at the start of the season, picked up a bit right now. Mahrez, surprisingly, yesterday asked the City fan when you're doing the preview, and he said he's one of the 3 players that City wants to sell. If you ask City fans, they'll say Mahrez is one of the 3 players
he's
they need to sell.
amazing, man.
Wait, I'll have him.
Because
I'll take him.
Yeah, obviously we'll have him.
All day long.
But they said Walker, Mahrez, and who was the other one? Was it
Probably
Garcia
be
defender or
Mendy.
something?
Yeah,
Mendy was also
Mendy.
mentioned, but apparently Mahrez like frustrates their fans like Pepe does us. I don't see it from the outside, but maybe they're watching all the games and everything, maybe. And then their bench. Can
I ask a quick question to both of you? How many players on their bench would get in our starting 11?
Walker probably for Bellerin.
Aguero definitely, whether he's fit or not. Like Aguero's a beast.
Everyone other than
Torres would probably get Pepe. Like, come on.
Everyone other than the goalkeeper and Mendy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's how good their squad is.
Torres for Saka.
Yeah, Torres
think so.
Over Pepe. Over Pepe.
Over Pepe, yeah.
Over Pepe on that side, okay. So Torres over Pepe, Foden over who?
Anybody.
Everybody.
Anyone in the midfield. Anyone in the midfield.
Laporte for Gabriel Murray.
For holding, yeah. For holding Murray, he's better than all our centre backs.
Jesus, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe not Jesus.
No, but like it would either be Jesus or Aguero up front, but either of them would get into our team. That's the point.
I mean, the main point is their squad is so massive, and we know this. Yeah, everybody knows that City have the best squad probably in the world, if we're being honest. But it's the fact that we used to have a squad like that, like a team with so many good players on the bench and on the pitch, and now we've gone to not even having a good starting 11. That's for me is the bad thing, that we've downgraded so much, and now we're seeing City, upgrade. It's just sad, really.
Arteta doesn't know his best 11.
That's true.
So going into the game, what is your prediction, Glen Express?
I said 3-1 City. I'm quite shocked that we're at 1-0, to be honest, but that scoreline's flattering, by the way. That's so flattering.
Yeah. HJ.
I said 6-0 City, but if they tried, I think they would have got it today.
Definitely.
If they played like they did for the first 10 minutes of the whole game, we would have got 6-0 easily. They would have got 6.
Our nightmares are about to come true. So what were you thinking the moment they got their first goal within 1 minute, Glen Express? 1 minute into the clock. They had also had a previous chance like 20 seconds before from Sterling, and then they got a goal.
That should have been the warning.
I expected it. How many times
have we conceded? Worst, right?
How many times have we conceded within the first 2 minutes to Man City? We conceded really early on in the Carabao Cup game where Runarsson was playing. We conceded really early on, I think, a season ago when De Bruyne had like one of his best performances ever. We scored early then.
That day.
Yeah, it's expected.
Aguero.
I see.
2016 Aguero.
Yeah, I watched loads of videos, and streams and previews and all this before the game, and everybody was saying the same thing. Whether you're Arteta in or out, no matter what you thought, everybody said the same thing. You've got to start the game off quickly and effectively against Man City. Conceding in the first 2 minutes for the 4th time within the last 5 years isn't starting off well. Yeah, it's expected. But for me, it's not even the fact that we conceded; it's the goal that we conceded. The fact that Raheem Sterling, who's 5'7", is scoring a header. When
5'5".
When 6 is it 5 when 6'1" Rob Holding, when 6'1" Rob Holding doesn't even attempt to jump for it. The most embarrassing thing is now, if a neutral looks at this game, he's going to think, how the hell did Arsenal concede a header to Raheem Sterling? Like what?
Yeah.
Like it's just embarrassing, man. But I feared the worst. I was expecting 7-0 at that point, if I'm being honest.
So AJ, was it poor defending from Tierney, letting Mahrez cutting into his left like 4 times in the first 10 minutes instead of showing him on his right foot?
It's kind of, to be honest, like that whole first 10 minutes, how Mahrez got spun by Tierney, it was his fault, and then it wasn't his fault because it's kind of Arteta's fault. You're putting him in against the best technical winger in the league when he's been out for 6 weeks and he's rusty and he's, dodgy. So you can't blame Tierney too much, but you could have done a bit more, I think. But again, the blame goes on Holding because you jump and clear out. It should be a simple clearance.
Yeah. Again, they got the first goal. Of course, you guys were fearing the worst. And then they also had another chance again within the first 2 minutes. De Bruyne had so much space. Mahrez had so much space. Clearly, Gun Express, you're not enjoying watching Mahrez in those first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I put a tweet out. The amount of space we gave Mahrez in that first 15 minutes was actually diabolical. It's like giving Ronaldo space. It's like he's the most powerful, the best player currently on the pitch, and you're giving him the most space out of everybody. I didn't understand it. I don't know why we tried. Like, for me, Mahrez today, he did one thing the whole game. He ran into the box, did a few flip-flaps, put it on his left or right foot, and had a shot on target. And we let him do it about 6 times. Like, I don't even know anymore, man. Our defending can be horrible.
It's been like that for years. It's been like that for 15 years. Believe me. We've seen the worst of the worst, man. Sylvester, Senderos, Koscielny, Mustafi, Squillaci. I still can't believe actually like they signed Kolasinac and Mustafi to save them from the next division. It's actually crazy. We could do, by the way, you're running out of defenders because I think if someone like Kolasinac was in the team right now, Tierney would probably get a rest. I think he wanted to rest Cedric as well. So I just don't know. Sterling, I'm used to seeing this Sterling because last game week in the FPL, I triple captain Sterling and he did nothing. And then this is the Sterling I'm used to seeing. Usually missing chances.
He always scores against us, though, doesn't he? He always scores against us.
Yeah. But this is the Sterling we always see at the Emirates Stadium. So he also had a chance after a couple of minutes.
You thought he was going to score a header.
Well, yeah, you can't put money on that.
Headers. Yeah, he never scores headers, man. So HJ Sterling, he also missed a chance like after a couple of minutes again. Should he have taken the shot just like Rashford a couple of weeks ago when he played them at the Emirates Stadium? Speaking of Rashford, he actually scored right now. Yeah,
that should have been a warning sign. Just to like try and control the game, don't let them keep coming at us. But the thing is, that's where Arteta's problems are because in the first seconds, Sterling misses a chance. You should be telling your players to calm down, relax yourselves. But no, it's the same weapon against Aston Villa. We had an early warning sign, and then we concede early, like we did last 2 games. We played Aston Villa. One we got thumped 3-0, the other one we lost 1-0. But you look at, I said this exact same thing in the Benfica match reaction. Arteta's screaming at his players to push, try move, try do this. The players aren't listening. Second game in a row I'm saying this now. And James Ben's just tweeted something about Arteta was calling out everything. Players weren't listening. Players weren't listening to his calls. I'm not sure. Are they down tooling on him? What are they doing to him? I'm not too sure. But that should have been the warning sign. And then Sterling goes and scores a header. Holding, what are you doing? And as I just speak, United are 1-up.
Yeah, wonderful. With all that pressure within the first 20 minutes, we managed to escape another goal. So we started picking up a couple of chances here, and they're not open chances. And one of them fell to Saka, and Aubameyang cleared it off the line. Gun Express, City's defender Aubameyang with a good clearance. Yeah, I didn't check it, but I just assumed it was going in. Yeah.
For me, it was lack of communication. Aubameyang, if you actually look a little bit before that, he calls for the ball. Tierney passes to Saka instead, and it's like someone should have just said to Aubameyang, "I ain't passing to you. Get out the way, move. I'm going to shoot." And no one said that. The fact that he's offside. Why is he not looking at the line? You've always got to watch the line as an attacker, and he hasn't. And he's ruined that. I don't think it was going in anyway, but imagine if it was. Imagine if that was going in and Aubameyang's blocked it. How much hate. I mean, like, come on, man. Like, you're an elite finisher, you're an elite striker, and you're getting in the way of a shot. Something is going wrong with Aubameyang. I've said it for the last week and a bit now. And this again proves it because overall he was poor, but Aubameyang never does that. He never gets in the way. He's always out of the way. He's always, not... well, in the way, and he was in the way. So I don't know what's going on with him.
And then AJ, we started having a couple of openings. Tierney and what's his name? Saka. Both of them
Yeah.
are looking like our biggest threat, and that just shows you how good they are in our team. Like probably our two best players. So, were you feeling like we could get something from somewhere from the two?
Their defending is quite good. The two centre backs, Stones and Diaz, and Tierney. You saw a few of his crosses. They were inconsistent. Where they were going and things like that. So I was never confident would equalise, but we're putting a bit of pressure on. Tierney was going into the game, so at least that was something to be positive about. But that's really that it, to be honest.
And then Pepe on the other side, Guna Express. I know you want him on the left, but Saka and Tierney are very good on the left. But yeah, I get you. Tierney, Pepe again over dribbling too many times.
I don't think Pepe was too bad today, but I mean, what could he do? Pepe is he's not a defensive player. We know this, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Nowadays every single player has to be defensive for some reason. Like that's not football. And this is why I wanted him on the left. It's not that Saka and Tierney aren't good or anything. It's that Bellerin needs that defensive support more than Tierney, and giving Bellerin Pepe over Saka is a bit stupid because Pepe just isn't going to offer that defensive support. I mean, too many times Pepe was caught defending and then couldn't get forward quick enough. So I think it was just bad tactics overall. The tactics just weren't that good.
There's a time you're supposed to give Bellerin the ball earlier, and he kind of delayed it. That chance from the right side. And speaking of Bellerin, HJ, Bellerin was trying a very good pass, and then he unfortunately hit the ball off the pitch.
Mate, no, don't even try and defend him. Glenn, you know what you're talking about. It's the one I tweeted, tagged you in.
Oh yeah,
it's the one I tagged you in.
Yeah.
You can't justify that. You can't defend him. What are you doing, Bellerin? You're not a footballer. Glenn, you could play better at right back.
Oh Lord.
Not joking. This is diabolical, mate. It's just, oh God. Since he lost his pace, he's just nothing.
Yep.
Gonna express bad luck, surely, right?
Come on,
man. Or is it that's what you've come to expect from him?
Like, that's the thing, right? Like, when I saw HD tweet it, I didn't actually see that in the game. I think I was like doing something else.
I did. I was like, oh no, I saw the tweet. I hope HD hasn't seen that.
I saw the tweet and I thought, there's no way that's real. And the fact that for me, ever since that injury, it's not even the fact that he's lost his pace. He has, but he just looks really scared. Like, he doesn't want to take anybody on. He doesn't want to run forward. He doesn't want to shoot.
No, I disagree with that.
Showed it. He doesn't. Sometimes he will. No, but I think it depends who he's going against. Against I think it was Sterling he was going against, and he knows that if he tries to take him on, Sterling's just going to megs him and he's going to embarrass him. So he's too scared to do it. He's too scared to take on a skillful technical player like Sterling, and instead boots the ball out of play. What are you doing? I don't get him, but we know he's trash. So I'm not shocked that he did it, to be honest. But
Newcastle have equalized, by the way. Should have had to.
Joe Willock scored, maybe.
Saint
got
the goal. Their left winger. So, in the first half, was there any time you felt like we could get a goal? Can express if we got a goal, could it have been a good thing or a bad thing for us?
I kind of wish we didn't get a goal, in a sense that I knew if we get a goal, City will turn on they'll turn the burners on, and that's it. They'll steamroll. They'll go and get another 2 or 3, and then the game will be over. So I think not scoring, especially early on, if we scored late, like 90th minute, I'd be really happy. I think we could get a draw. But scoring like 45 minutes in, City are just going to come out second half, and they're just going to steamroll you. But no, there was no way we were scoring in that first half. We looked better. But that's because City let us look better. Like, they let us do it.
Yeah. You remember the game where Yumba goes in charge against City, HJ?
God.
This guy's Arteta's last game as the assistant manager before he came to Arsenal. You remember they scored 3 goals against us. I think that's the game you guys have been talking about. They scored 3 goals within like 20 minutes, and then they didn't score any other. And we kind of felt that he was like, maybe Arteta told him, I'm actually going to this team to become their manager.
No. It's their tactic. They just turn on the burners against Arsenal for 10-20 minutes and just sit back and pass them around.
Because they know they're going to score 3 goals within 20 minutes. Like with other teams, they might not do it. With Arsenal, it's we'll get a goal the first 2 minutes. It's all right.
It's the same. Under Arteta, under Ljungberg, it's just how you play against Arsenal.
Even under Wenger. Yeah, exactly. It's the same with all of them.
So halftime, Gunnar, did you want any kind of subs at halftime? Are you okay with how it was going?
I just wanted us to forfeit the match, just get it over with. I knew
That's
it
what I
was just going to be it was going to go one of two ways. It was going to be a ball fest in the second half, and it ended in 1-1, which it did, or it was going to be another 3 or 4 goals for City. Substitutions wise, I'd have got Xhaka off. He was shocking. I'd have brought Ceballos on maybe. Again, Aubameyang, get him off the pitch, bring Martinelli on. But I didn't. Again, I'm not shocked that Arteta doesn't bring anybody on because he doesn't know how to make substitutions properly. He doesn't know how to do it. It's obvious. He doesn't know how to make effective substitutions.
At least Emery did know. At least Emery knew how to do it. At least.
Yeah, the amount of times
Emery brings
somebody on and they do something.
Are you taking Aubameyang off because you want him saved for the Benfica game, or because that game wasn't working for him?
I didn't start him versus Benfica.
Yeah, it just didn't work. I knew it was never going to be. It was never going to be an Aubameyang game. But yeah, I agree. I'm not starting him against Benfica either.
Lacazette gets the nod,
or Martinelli. Either one.
Both of them.
And who would be on the left?
Pepe.
Martinelli on the left, Lacazette on the middle, Saka on the right.
Yeah, true.
And then Odegaard again?
No, I'd bench Odegaard. I'd give him a rest.
Smith Rowe. So
Smith Rowe in the mid,
back again. So the second half started again. The worst fear for me was like, if they get another early goal again, it could be 3-0, 4-0 like it was in the Carabao Cup. Luckily, we didn't have runners on today to make the mistakes. But yeah, we were kind of looking good. But the problem was just like every time we get the ball, Leno is passing it to Pablo Mari, and then the ball goes back to Leno. I mean, you can't score a goal without scoring, surely, Gun Express. You can't score a goal without shooting the ball.
It happens, doesn't it? You don't shoot, you don't score. That's it. There was a few chances when Odegaard actually could have maybe had a shot, and he decided to pass it backwards to Xhaka. And I thought that's a bit weird. Like Odegaard said in his interviews, I love a good long shot on the left foot. Why didn't you take one then? I'm not. He was good today, Odegaard, but at least attempt it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather it go wide and you have a shot than just not doing anything. At least you're trying. But we just looked scared. We looked scared. We just looked like we were never up for it.
It was really frustrating, not like having a shot. Like, just try. You might have a corner or something, you get a free kick if you go forward and you might use it. So how disappointing was that, HJ, for you not literally trying in the second half? Literally, the game just faded away. They seemed like they didn't care about scoring a second, and we were like, oh, you know what? 1-0 is okay.
I expected it, because that's how City tend to play. They try for a bit, then they just can't be bothered because they know they're going to win the game. And I also knew I was not going to try either. Arteta knows that if he goes for it, and then we get pulled apart 2-3-0, he's going to get more criticism. You just want to get out of there with 1-0. That was the plan, because if we went for it, we would have got countered, pulled apart, and then torn to pieces and given back to us. That's what would have happened. And I knew Arteta was going to do that. Pep, if I know that's going to happen, Pep also knows that's going to happen, which is why he just passed it around, settled the game off, done and dusted, move on to Gladbach. That's what he was thinking.
So what changes between now and what has changed between now and the game we played against them in the semi-final last season? Because then that goal for Aubameyang in the first half, in the semi-final, we had like 25 passes, Leno to Luiz, then to Mustafi, then to Luiz, then to Tierney, then the ball across to Lacazette, then to Pepe, and then Bellerin, then Pepe again, then cross, then Aubameyang 1-0. Where's that tempo gone? Like all of a sudden, literally we just pass 2 passes, 3 passes, and then we make a mistake, the ball has gone. Are you telling, because they have the same players? Apart from Diaz in defense.
Arteta. One word, Arteta.
We have the same. I think we have the same players, in fact, or even better, maybe. I don't know, maybe the same.
He plays too defensively, where he acts like we're 3-0 up when we're 1-0 down. He doesn't want to go forward.
That's how we were playing against them. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how we played in the semi-final.
But the difference is then we'd go for it. We went forward. We went for the goals. This time, first off, the difference is we conceded early. That's always going to ruin you. And again, we concede early and we lose to Manchester City. The one time we don't concede early to City was in the FA Cup and we beat them. Does that maybe not make you think that if we maybe just wouldn't concede so early, we might actually have a chance? That's the main thing. It's the conceding early. But even then, we went for City. We were on the back foot the whole game. We defended well and then went at them. This time, we defended well at certain stages and then passed the ball out of the pitch for a Man City throw-in. for me, it's the players are gutless, they're spineless, they have no idea what they're doing, there's no communication, and they're all scared. They're just worried of whatever. I don't even know what it is, but they're worried of just losing by like 8 goals.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if we had fans in that stadium today, they would be getting ripped apart. Arteta would be getting like so much shade. Yeah, he would be. But like the play, like we wouldn't accept that performance. End of story. We would not accept that as a performance.
Don't you think like 60% of fans are already accepting the 1-0 defeat?
That's just our fans now.
I can't accept it. Like I can't. For me, again, if we lose and we at least play well, I don't care. But we didn't play well, so I'm not making excuses for that game.
That was the sad part. I was sad because we didn't try. Literally, we were passing the ball. Odegaard, instead of shooting, as you said, passes the ball across Xhaka, then the ball back to Pablo Mari. Very, very many poor passes from Pablo Mari, as you said in the beginning, and we'll come to that. So next up, let's do the player ratings for the game. And obviously, last time I started with Gun Express, so I'll start with HJ today. So first one, obviously, is Leno. As always, what did you give Leno for today?
I gave him an 8 because he didn't really put a footer on today, in my opinion. Because but Leno, he didn't really make many mistakes, and the goal he couldn't have done anything about it because that was down to holding, and he went straight into the top corner. As a good header, to be fair, from Sterling. You don't really see that, but Leno couldn't really do much more, to be honest, and he gets an 8 from me. He didn't do much in the game. He didn't put a foot wrong, and when he did, he makes some decent saves, and he stopped at 2 or 3 or 4-0.
8, Gun Express.
7 for Leno, highest rating player for Arsenal, gets man of the match for the Arsenal team at least. Yeah, again, couldn't do anything for the goal. Distribution was pretty decent, actually. A few more long balls today that actually reached their target. Never really made a mistake in terms of distribution. Few decent saves whenever they were needed. But again, City didn't really go for it, so he didn't really have anything to do. I think if City went for it, he'd have conceded a few more. Not that it had been his fault, but it just would have happened. But 7, I mean, again, I just feel sorry for Leno because he has such a great performance, but gets let down by the just shocking defending. And he does, it's another clean sheet that he now doesn't have. Like, how many clean sheets should this guy have that he doesn't?
Yeah.
Like, it's just shocking, really.
He should be like Ederson and Martinez up there with the clean sheets.
He should be up there for the Golden Glove. He should. He's a good enough goalkeeper to be challenging for the Golden Glove, and he never gets an attempt because our defense is so poor. But yeah, 7 for Leno.
7 for Leno. I'd agree with you. I'd give him a 7, and then man, why does this guy have to be so early into the player ratings? I wish he was a midfielder or something so that you come to him later. I'm going to express Bellerin.
1, shocking, absolutely trash. Get him out my club, sell him immediately. I hate this guy so much. And hate is a strong word, right? But I can't stand a footballer who wants to play so poor and then expect so much back from the fans. He expects us to, to donate to all these environmental protection agencies. And yeah, that's all great, but you need to perform on the pitch as well, my friend. Stop worrying about the modelling and going to Paris Fashion Week and actually play football for once, because it's just poor now. I'm bored of seeing Hector Bellerin put in such a poor performance for Arsenal Football Club and then talk as if he did nothing wrong. Like, what did he do good today? Pass the ball out of the pitch half the time. I saw a tweet saying, does he actually play for Arsenal or is he playing for City? Shocking. Just shocking. 1. Only reason he gets a 0 is because he managed to tuck his shirt in properly.
Looks good in that jacket as well, right?
He should stick to the catwalk.
My goodness.
Catwalk, because you ain't good enough for Arsenal, mate.
Oh my God, I'm afraid to ask HJ about Bellerin. So before we get into that, let's have a breather. Ashton says Guendouzi, Martinelli, Nelson, Willock, Nketiah, and Niles have gone backwards. The one I'm really disappointed in are like Niles and Nketiah, the both of them.
Guendouzi hasn't gone backwards. He's gone forwards at Hertha. Just to let you know, he's gone forwards a lot.
You agreed bring him back next season, right?
100%. He's getting straight in the starting 11.
Russ says, do you all think if at Arsenal lose on Thursday, he will be sacked? Personally, I don't think so.
I would.
But he won't.
No, he says you think he will be sacked.
He won't, but I'd love him to.
Yeah. So I don't think he will. I think they'll give him until the end of the season anyway. Yeah.
He said on Nketiah, we rejected 25 million quid from West Ham to not seeing him again. What's gone on there?
No idea. I would have been. I actually wanted when Niles was being linked to Wolves at the start of the season, I would have sold him, and I would also have sold Nketiah.
I was a bit like this on Niles at the start of the season. I didn't know how Arteta was going to use him. Then he doesn't play him. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Ashton also says that Arteta needs to get his CV ready. Ultimately, getting 2 points from 18 in November and December will cost us European qualification.
Yeah. Also, Ashton. Yeah, we sacrificed the FA Cup to get 4 points out of the next 12 points. Like, do the math there. Like, what's going on?
He also says Glen Express he can expect. Yeah, he can expect the defeat against City, but the ones that hurt are the ones for Aston Villa and Wolves.
Yeah, Burnley.
Yeah. Jacob says Rob Holding had a couple of mistakes, poor performance, but yeah, we'll come to him. Louise says not happy with the result, I guess. Yep. So HJ Bellerin.
0. Not having it. I'm not giving him points for tucking in a shirt properly. He can go to Paris. How has this guy come through the La Masia Academy? Well, that just baffles me. How has he come through Barcelona's academy? I don't get it at all.
Do you think his speed kind of helped him?
Yes, it definitely carried him for many years. The speed definitely carried him. As soon as he gets that ACL.
He's a FIFA speed merchant. That's all he is. He was just a FIFA speed merchant.
Exactly. FIFA 15, FIFA 16. Man, I just abused the pace. Just wow. But literally, I don't even know where this guy anymore. Just get him out of here because I'm telling you.
Why are you giving him a 0? Because of that pass?
No, just the whole performance. He got ripped to shreds after time. He's not a good enough footballer. He didn't play well today. And also, what was I going to say? I forgot.
There's no more negatives. Come on, you see, you can't think of any more negatives. I'd give him a 2, not a 0. I'd go for a 2, but yeah, since they've gone for 0 and 1, I guess we'll stick to 1. Unfortunately, then the next one is Rob Holding. HJ, give us Rob Holding. Jacob says Rob Holding had a couple of mistakes. So, what did you give him?
In the end, he cost us the game. I gave him a 1 because he put. But yes, he made a few tackles, but those tackles were so last ditch. It was almost like he got lucky with them because if he gets it an inch wrong, it's a penalty. All right.
Yep.
So a 1 for me. He can't deserve more than a 1. He threw the game out the water for us. You can't be defending like that. You're just ball watching. You are ball watching. If I'm doing that, my Sunday league coach is shouting at me, why are you not jumping over? Well, why? You should be defending your man. Stay on him. He's 5'5". Inexcusable. 1.
1. Glen Express.
Agreed. 1 for Holding. We all had a go at Cedric for the Villa game for costing us. It's the exact same thing. He cost us the game. Holding was dropped for playing poorly, Arteta said. That's why he didn't play against Benfica, and that's why he didn't play against Leeds. So a player who's been dropped for playing poorly, you're going to start him against Manchester City.
That sums this manager up.
How does that work?
It's a dead rubber. According to some people, it's a dead rubber.
No, but in Arteta's eyes, it's not. He still thinks he can get something out of the league. So for me, it's the delusion in his brain to say Holding's going to get dropped against Benfica and Leeds for being so poor against Villa. Yeah, I'm going to start him against City, who have won 17 of their last 17 matches.
Who are technically better and Holding struggles against
I just don't get his brain sometimes. Like his thought process is so like it's just hypocrisy at its best. He has no idea what he's talking about. And Holding, there was a challenge that he put in on Gundogan, I think in the second half, right? Or the first half, I don't even remember. And I thought, wow, great tackle. He didn't even tackle him. It was Gundogan. He messed up. He kicked the ball out of play accidentally. So I can't even give him props for that tackle. Like, even when I thought he did something good, he didn't. Like, it's shocking. 1 for Holding.
So let me ask you, HJ, would you sell him for like 10 million at the end of the season?
I'd terminate him. Just terminate his contract.
I would get rid of him. Apparently, our fans' excuse was for the new contract. We're protecting his value. This guy, no matter how, put him on 101 years. He's gonna have 15 million quid, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be
Can I quickly say one thing as well?
Mm-hmm.
I've said for a long time now that Holding is not good enough for this club, right? And a lot of people have said, oh, but he's been performing good recently. And I've said it. Yeah, he has. He still isn't good enough, and he will make a mistake sooner or later. Today has proved my point perfectly that he is not good enough for this club. And I don't care how good he performs every now and then. He's like Bellerin. He can perform as good as he wants to. I don't want him.
Wow, enough said. Okay, so we've settled for how many? What did you give him? Gun Express holding?
1.
HJ, what did you give holding?
He gave him a 1, I think. I don't know where he's
He
going.
gave him a 1. So for me, it's not
Yeah,
even
one,
that
one.
the clearances and everything. Now, and the poor clearances and those things, the passing is terrible. I saw so many misplaced passes. I couldn't believe it. Man. Yeah, I was actually happy when he came on. I was actually happy when Luis came on. You rarely. I was actually, because I was like, no, at least he can pick a pass from somewhere, man. Because we were dilly-dallying with the ball behind them, making silly passes, gifting them possession. It was like we wanted them to score a second goal in those final 10 minutes. Like, it was so terrible. The next one, very, very surprising to see him start. Gun Express, Pablo Mari.
I wasn't actually surprised. In my preview, my predicted lineup was actually Holding and Mari as the 2 centre-backs, because I knew he'd rest Gabriel and Luis for the Thursday game.
Yeah.
Mari, we've just paid £1 million to Flamengo for a free performance. He gets a free. Passing was shocking. Like the passing was just shocking. Let's be honest. There's a time. Yeah. I've said it before. A defender, especially a centre-back, who turns his back to a long shot, for me, ain't good enough. You don't turn your back to someone shooting. You put your body on the line, you block it, and that's it. No excuses. He turned his back when Gundogan had a shot. Luckily, Leno saved it, but again, he turned his back. He got spun once or twice by Mahrez. I expected it, to be honest. Mahrez is a great winger, but he got, there was a time as well right in the beginning of the game. Mahrez put it on his right foot, and Mari got tricked into thinking he was going to shoot on his left. Mahrez is a right-footed player. In tactical meetings before the game, the defenders should know the preferred foot of every attacking player on the opposite team. It's as if we don't know their preferred foot, because it's not the first time it's happened. If you remember against Man United, Bruno put it on his right foot. Why are we letting them put it on their strong foot? Keep it on their weak foot. But anyway, free. Better defensively, but
it's fun. You kind of say that 1 million thing and getting a 3 like it's a bad thing. You get what you pay for. That's exactly what you need to get when you've paid for 1 million for someone. It's a 3 performance, 1 million. If you want a 10 performance, you need to pay like 20 to 30 million. So HJ has disappeared just like Pablo Mari today. What did you give Pablo Mari?
4 because 4 because
the passing was terrible.
Yes. That passing was terrible, but I think he was better than Holding. Covered him for a few times, and against the technical players, I thought he was a bit better defensively. That's something Holding is dreadful at, and 4 for me. Maybe a bit nice, but 4.
I can see your comments in the chat, so I'll come to that particular player when you're talking about him. So the next one, Gun Express. I can see Luis from Benfica. Benfica fans saying, had you guys all wanted Tierney back? What did you make of his performance? Tierney's next.
I didn't want him back for Man City. Again, I said it in my preview. I said it on here after the Benfica game. I don't want to see Tierney play against City. It's a high-intensity game. They've got very good technical wingers in Mahrez, Foden and Sterling. Tierney was going to struggle. He hasn't played in the last 5 games. He's had barely any training, because he only just came back into training last Wednesday, I think it was, the day before Benfica. He was going to struggle, and he did. Defensively, he did. He was left exposed by Mari and Xhaka, especially Xhaka. Xhaka just let Mahrez run straight past him. Going forward, he was good. A few little, poor crosses, but again, he's been out for a while, so that'll get back to him. But again, just for me, it wasn't Tierney's bad performance. It's the fact that he's been thrown into the game and he's played 90 minutes. It's the fact that, he got left exposed against one of the best wingers in the league in Mahrez. And again, I can't blame him for his performance. So I give him a 4, but who expected better, really? Did you expect any better from Tierney in the circumstances that he's been in recently? Because I didn't.
Not really, but I don't know. Tierney, HJ?
First 5 minutes, he got spun into pieces by Mahrez, like I said earlier. But after that, I thought he grew into the game. Saka and Tierney, good link up down that left-hand side. Again, a few inconsistent crosses, but again, that's expected, as Gunnar Express mentioned. But yeah, you can't really fault him too much because when you're coming up against probably the best technical winger in this league, when you're just coming back from injury, it's always going to be very tough. That's where Arteta flops on his man management, because that will probably hurt his confidence going into that Benfica game where we really need him, because now that Benfica game is the biggest one of our season. Undoubtedly, every Arsenal fan will tell you that. So Tierney today, on the whole, 5.
Yeah, I agree that. I'd go with the 5. I think 4 is low because he's basically our main threat in that first half. Like every time he had the ball, you feel like something can happen, and he is a defender, so you can just imagine. So even with one leg, Tierney is still one of our better players.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'd settle with the 5. And then
Yeah,
Jacob
definitely.
says, I think when we play a really easy game, please, Jacob, tell me which game that is, because we couldn't beat Burnley and those kind of teams.
We're the only team that go up 4-0 and still look uncomfortable, like we did against Fulham. We're the only
maybe
team.
try put Shaka in defense and see how it does. HJ,
Nope.
Shaka is next. Would you try that?
God, no.
Nope. Sell him off to Hertha or whatever. Just sell him off to anyone, because he's just dreadful, Xhaka. He is so bad. He can't pass, and when he did pass, nothing really came from it, to be honest. And it was all backwards, sideways, 1 or 2 forward passes. But there's like so many instances I could pick out clips from that game where he could be playing it forward to Aubameyang, but he's playing it sideways or backwards. It's not something now.
Yeah.
It's been happening for years. Yet you alluded to the fact a week or so ago that every manager, Wenger, Emery, Lumberg, Arteta, they all love him for some reason. That's what I don't get. How do you love this guy? And he's probably another one that's probably going to end up getting a new contract as well. So for today, I'll give him a 2.
There's a couple of times he had the ball outside the box and was like screaming, shoot the ball. Someone just shoot the ball. You never know, the goalkeeper might spin it or something.
Xhaka boom. We needed one of them.
Yeah, we need that Shaka. We need this Shaka on screen. The one who scored that free kick against Chelsea. We need that Shaka, not this one.
That comes out once a year, mate.
Once a year. But that was last year. We're in 2021.
Yeah.
Where is the 2021 now? Later this year at Hertha Berlin, right? Gonna Express, Shaka.
Hopefully.
I said it against Chelsea when he scored the free kick. He doesn't do it enough. Every 8 or 9 months, he whips out one of them.
Yeah.
You know, the one before that was against Palace about a year ago. Yeah. So he's inconsistent with, the Xhaka boom moments that everybody loves to talk about. I've seen tweets from some big Arsenal Twitter accounts saying stuff like Xhaka's underrated, this and that. No, he's not. He's trash. Let's be honest. Yeah, performances since Partey's been out, he looks worse. And I've said it before.
How did he pick up the yellow card? I didn't miss the yellow card.
Sterling was running towards him. He passed the ball away as Xhaka tackled him.
That one
was just a bit of a. It wasn't a yellow card
because Sterling already fell over, and then Xhaka put his arm up to block him or something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
The moment he got the yellow card, I was starting to have this kind of feeling. I was seeing the referee waiting for that kind of moment again, because one more and he's off. Go ahead, go next.
But yeah, he's not a good midfielder. Yeah, the only reason he looks good when Partey's there is because Partey's there. That's it.
Yeah,
Partey makes him look better than he is. Exactly. Xhaka looks awful again without Partey. He's alongside Ceballos, Elneny, or whoever. I'm selling him personally. Again, I'm getting rid of him, giving him to whoever wants him. Just get one today again. Passes outside the box. There was a few times when he literally just passed the ball to the City player, as if it was nothing. What are you doing? You got to keep possession against City, and he gave it away a load of times as well. Fun little fact for you: since the start of the 2016-17 season, which is the season that was Xhaka's first season, he's had 40 yellow cards. Only one player has had more since that, and that was Romeu, who's had 44. Discipline.
We all know.
Thank you. That makes me feel better. Thank you for that. Thank you. That makes me feel better about it. How many red cards? Please go and check for us how many red cards. I remember two that John Moss gave him. Too many. I remember 4 or 5 red cards as well. So if you add the red cards as well, you could have had the most sending offs and bookings in the Premier League at that time. So anything
Definitely.
to add, AJ, about Xhaka?
Get rid.
Okay.
Get rid.
Yeah. Jacob also says, get rid of Elneny. Way too many back passes.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Louise, it's out of 10, the ratings.
Yeah, it's out of 10. Yeah.
I think
wow. You actually did you actually think holding. How much did you actually think we were giving the players 4 out of 5s? Wow, that would have been great. But yeah, Luis is out of 10.
Luis, I don't know.
Yeah, so El Neni backward passes, Gun Express is the next one. Mohamed El Neni.
I'm giving him a 1 alongside Xhaka, but he was better than Xhaka. I can accept. Maybe like I can accept. Yeah, the only reason I give him a 1 is Mohamed El Sideways. You know, as DT and the rest of them have rightly called him, sideways, backwards, everywhere, but sideways, backwards, everywhere but forwards. That's it. Like it's everywhere but forwards. It's quite annoying, really. Because sometimes you're literally screaming at your TV, just saying, "Pass it forward, pass it forward." When Arteta first came in, if you remember the resurgence of El Neni when he played insanely well, everybody was using El Neni as a player that Arteta's improved. What's happened?
Yeah,
he's just better than Xhaka.
Why has he now got worse? Like Arteta's improving nobody. Yeah, he's just making the worst players look better because players around them are playing worse than them. Like, come on, man, seriously. But yeah, El Neni, he cut out the passing lines quite well. I thought, you know, there was a few times that De Bruyne went for a pass and El Neni would cut it out. Defensively decent, but again, I think 1's a bit harsh. I'd probably maybe give him a 2 or a 3, but it's just that sideways passing. It just gets on my nerves, really. Like, just pass it forwards for once. But better than Xhaka, definitely.
SJ, where is this El Neni? This El Neni who scored a cracker in the Europa League from the middle of the park against Dundalk. Where is this El Neni you're seeing on screen? Where does he have no shots in the Premier League when it comes to
he's one of them, isn't he? Once a season, he has a boom moment. Other than that, he's just bang average footballer. And I don't think Arteta's improved him. I just think he's better than Xhaka. If Guendouzi and Torreira were still in the squad, you'd be one of the worst midfielders, El Neni, and that's the thing. You know, El Neni's just a bang average footballer, and you know what you're gonna get. Today, I'll give him a 3. He was better than Xhaka. Again, as Gunnar said, cut out the passing lines at times. Tried controlling the midfield, but when you have Gundogan, De Bruyne, Fernandinho, it's always going to be very difficult. But yeah, Oneni did drop into centre back many times, but that's down to Rob Holding being positionally inept at times. And what more can you say? He's another one. He needs to be sold.
Until today, still can't believe El Neni still plays for Arsenal. I actually can't believe El Neni is still at Arsenal. Like, we've gotten rid of everyone who's under Wenger, and he's still surviving. I have no idea how El Neni is surviving at Arsenal. He's not even good enough for our bench. If we want to ever proceed, we can't even play him in the Carabao Cup games. He's not even good enough for that.
It's the fans. Like, if you remember when El Neni first played in the Carabao, the Community Shield, and when he was playing decent,
give him a new contract.
Yeah, the question was around the summer transfer window. One of the biggest questions was, do we sell El Neni? And I said it. I don't care how good he is. Just get rid of him. And there was loads of fans saying, oh, but he can be our James Milner, our Jordan Henderson. Mate, James Milner stamps on El Neni in terms of quality of a footballer. Like, come on, seriously. Is this the level that we're stooping to where we want a good squad player to be Mohamed El Neni? Like, come on, man, seriously.
Big up El Neni.
Thank you for those comments, Kevin. And Luca, Ashton says Arsenal need a Xabi Alonso. I mean, we have it in El Neni, as Lucas said. El Neni has got 3 cracking goals. So that's one every 2 years, man. Oh my goodness. To be fair to him, he wasn't at Arsenal for all that time. So what have you given him, AJ?
El Neni 3.
Okay, then let's try and be more positive. Saka is next. Gun Express.
5 for Saka. Again, I can't give anybody except Leno above a 5, really. Decent going forward. He worked well with Tierney. Defensively, he was pretty good as well. I mean, he couldn't defend as much as I wanted him to because, again, he has to stay forward. Against City, you have to stay forward. You can't just come back because they're just going to trap you. But, that shot that was blocked by Aubameyang was pretty decent. Again, he was the only one really trying to shoot, if we're being honest. He's the only one actually went for goal. Yeah, again, I've said it about Saka. This kid can perform immensely well in an awful team. And again today, awful team performance, but again, he was good. The sad thing for me is if we keep declining at the rate that we are, within 2 or 3 years, he's gone. We will lose this kid because this guy is a Champions League winner in terms of mentality, in terms of quality, in terms of what he can bring to a team. Why would he want to sit in an Arsenal team who are mid-table when he could be sitting in a Manchester City team winning the Champions League and winning the league. Like, it's real. It's real, man. The kid's priceless. Yeah, nobody wants to lose him. I doubt he wants to leave either because he loves Arsenal. But you've got to be realistic as a footballer. It doesn't matter how much you love a club. If you outgrow the club in terms of quality, you've got to move on. And right now, Saka's already outgrowing us in terms of quality. So we need to improve rapid. Otherwise, we are going to lose him, and not just him. You know, the likes of Martinelli will go as well. But 5 for Saka in today's performance.
AJ Saka.
5 as well. First 10 minutes, very poor, but as well as like similar to Tierney, he grew into the game, started moving the ball forward. You know, 1 or 2 dodgy passes, but again, he was one player that kept moving along. You know, trying to build something up, and it was the same thing with Pepe as well. He tried running around, trying bring in, because Man City, they just play the ball so quickly, so slickly. They just do everything so quickly. So Pepe and Saka, they were both running around trying to do something. And with Saka playing so many games recently, it was always going to be difficult for him. But I think with both him and Pepe, Saka, I'll give him a 5. Same as Gunnar Press.
Well, let me just bring up some comments. Jacob says, I don't think he was watching the right game. Saka gave away the ball, but that is because he was trying. All the others were just giving or choosing the easy pass. If you're choosing the easy pass, you might as well not give away any other ball, because for him, he was trying passing forward.
How many times did Alexis Sanchez lose the ball in a game? A lot.
How many times do the likes of Bruno Fernandes lose the ball in a game? The one thing Man United fans complain about is how much he loses the ball, yet he's still their best player. You don't need to, like, you know what I mean? As long as you're still performing well, no one cares if you lose the ball. If you're going to do a Hector Bellerin where you're going to lose the ball and play poorly, then yeah, you're going to get a lot of hate. But it's like, come on, man, really? You're going to go on at him for losing the ball?
Lucas says Saka 5 looks good. I think I actually disagree with you, Gunnar Express, in terms of Leno being our best player. I think Saka still was. Seriously, I think Saka and Tino are our best players today. Yes, they might as well have given away the ball, but they're still our best players. Like when Saka had the ball, I felt like something could happen. When Elneny had the ball, you're like, wherever. The same I feel when Pepe has the ball, I'm like, nothing is gonna happen here. But when Saka has the ball, you feel like something is going to happen. So for me, I'd actually give him a 6. I'd actually give him a 6. I know you guys have gone for a 5, but I'd actually give him a 6. Then the next one is Nicolas Pepe, the next person.
Pepe 4 for me. I think he's going to get a lot of hate. Other player ratings are probably going to give him 1s and 2s, but come on. What can he do? Again, on the right side, he looks poor compared to the left side. He had to defend Bellerin.
He can shoot on target when he gets the chance.
He didn't even get a shot though. He didn't, as I said,
he did in the first half.
Barely. Like, my thing is, Diaz and Stones are going to put the body on the line. They're going to block that shot. They're going to do everything they can to stop you shooting, and they did that with Pepe. He looked jittery in terms of he looked quick, like he wanted to move the ball quickly and move quickly, but nobody was matching that. For me, Pepe under Lille, if you actually watch clips from Lille, they moved the ball quickly. They were quick. They were really counter-attacking, moving the ball quickly, running quickly, all that kind of thing. We're slow. We don't move the ball quickly, and we're too lazy. So Pepe doesn't fit our system under Arteta. Pepe needs the likes of a Carlo Ancelotti who's going to move the ball quickly. You're going to counter-attack really quickly. I think Pepe under Pep would actually be a very good footballer because Pep fits Pepe's style of quick counter-attacking football. But we don't use him properly. And this is why I don't think we ever should have bought him, because you're paying this money for a player who doesn't fit the system of Emery, who doesn't fit the system of Ljungberg or Arteta. So I'd have got Zaha over Pepe, but we're stuck with what we've got, and if you don't fit the system, then that's poor business. The scouting isn't good enough. But today, 4.
You said you wanted him on the left.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, okay. Mr. BK says for this game, Aubameyang and Odegaard should have been rested. I think we're just using Odegaard because he's not going to be here two months later. Maybe we're just like overusing him, like that thing. He's not going to be there in the next few weeks. Been rested, and Smith Rowe and Laka should have started. Cedric over Bellerin and Ceballos over Elneny. Okay, so HJ's Pepe got a start. Got a start.
Same as Saka, 5.
Yeah.
He tried,
5.
tried running around, tried pressing, things like that. But in the end, it didn't come off for Pepe. But again, unlike the other team, him and Saka were actually trying, moving the ball around. And with Pepe, with this manager, the man management has been so poor. I think Gunnar Express will agree. You give him a run of games and then you just bench him for 2 games. Like, what's the theory behind that? I don't get it. What more can you say? 5 for him.
We have a couple of comments that AJ and Gunnar Express won't be happy with. Mr. BK says, oh my goodness. But hey, conceding 1 to City ain't that bad, considering how that was scored in the first 75 seconds and nothing happened after, except for that Cancelo shot, which was very, very close. And then Arsenal fan reviews says, before the game, HJ, someone you really know well. Not everyone was expecting a loss. Now we've lost. Everyone wanted a win, and is Arteta out. So, AJ, what do you make of that?
Look, it's again, you go into a game thinking you want to win. You don't go into a game thinking, oh, let's just lose from as little as possible. You go into every game with the mentality you want to win. But you look at those kind of things after the game. Okay, maybe in the whole scheme of things, it wasn't too bad, but still, you wish you would have won the game. You're disappointed because you didn't win. When you lose, it's always not a good feeling. But what more can you say? It's Manchester City. They're so good at the moment. They're unstoppable, and we're just so inconsistent and bad. And we have, again, as AFR says, Arteta says Thursday is the final for us. He says that, and then we're probably going to end up bottling it. And then what more do we have to?
Brilliant stats.
Yeah, we got knocked out to Olympiacos, but we still had the FA Cup. We get knocked out now to Benfica. What do we have?
Okay, so to answer your question, Thomas, about Arteta in or Arteta out. This is my answer. This is what I make up of Arteta. But unfortunately, this is what Gunnar Express and HJ90 make of Arteta. They don't want him in the team. So I hope that answers your question. As Manchester United score their 2nd goal, I hate them so much. But anyway, Arsenal fan reviews also says the Arteta Thursday is the final. Benfica 2, Arsenal 1. Lucas lost hope in Arsenal. Once Man City scored in the first goal, I knew we didn't have a chance. So the next one is going to be Aubameyang, Gunnar Express. Yeah?
2 for Aubameyang. Poor. Let's be honest. Poor. Going forward brings nothing. He's lost his pace. He got outpaced by John Stones. Outpaced by John Stones. Really?
Outpaced by Otamendi, mate.
Like, Aubameyang, again, is another one. He was a pace merchant on FIFA. He's known for having 99 pace on FIFA, yet he doesn't even have any pace in real life. It's poor. Aubameyang never really had pace since he joined Arsenal. He never has had pace. He's an elite finisher who needs feeding into the box, and he's going to score. Against Man City, you ain't going to get that deliverance. You need your striker to drive, pressure, and try and build something himself. Aubameyang is the worst striker in the world to try and do that because he doesn't do it. Martinelli, Lacazette, even Balogun will build something. They'll drive and they'll attempt to pressure City. Yeah, Arteta picked the wrong striker, and that's it. I knew he was going to be the wrong striker from the beginning. He was the wrong striker at the end. And again, brings nothing. Did he even have a shot on target? I don't think he did. He blocked Saka's shot while offside. Poor. 2.
I usually have a hard time defending Arteta on this show. For anyone who's watching it for the first time, I know the likes of RK and Arsenal fan reviews have had it before, but yeah. HJ and Gunnar Express are not the biggest fans.
Wait, again. If you have no reason to defend him, why do you defend him?
I have 10 reasons. I've said it so many times. Go ahead, AJ Aubameyang.
0, did nothing, offered nothing, didn't run, didn't go at them. Absolutely bullshit today. He was bad. He was rubbish. 0, 0, 0. You can't go from a hat-trick against Leeds to flopping against Benfica to going flopping again now. You played all 3 of those games and he's looked crap in the last 2. He's looked rubbish. He's back to the form he was in 2 months ago. I still back the man. He's our world-class striker. I'll say this, but on Thursday, he's benched for Lacazette and Martinelli.
Lacazette and Martinelli. Okay, so you're settling for what? Gunnar Express?
0.
Are you going for 0 or are you going for?
I said 2, so 1 maybe down the middle.
I'd give him a 2. Odegaard is the last one. HJ?
Again, he was one of them. It wasn't his best performance today, but I think that was down to the fact that we had absolute crap around him because he's one that needs the ball to his feet so he can play it off to the likes of Aubameyang. So I think in that respect, I think if Ceballos was in there, he could have had a better game. Odegaard, Ceballos and Odegaard play very well together. I've said this last 2 weeks now. Not a lot of people notice it, but I see it. The connection is very good, and I think Odegaard, he's very good ball control. I said this again, and he did that well today in some aspects, but his passing today, he gave the ball away a few times, as in like his passing was a bit bad. But on the whole, I'll give him a 4 today.
Okay, Gonna Express.
Yeah, 4 for Odegaard. I mean, he couldn't really. Yeah, he could maybe had like a shot, but can you really blame him again? He's in a new country, new league.
Yeah.
What third start for Arsenal, and he's against Manchester City at the Emirates, which we haven't won at the Emirates against Manchester City in years. I think people are expecting too much of him. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, we should have done better. We should have done this and that." The guy is not here to carry the team to victory. He's here to bring that little bit extra that we need, and he does bring that. But against City, when we have Aubameyang, he's not going to do anything to help. When we have two fullbacks who either are injured and unfit in Tierney, or a poor fullback in Bellerin, he's not going to be able to do anything. With 2 defensive midfielders sat behind him, he has no support in terms of going forward. And again, Ceballos would have been the smarter option because he's going to come with him, he's going to back him up, he's going to be that man to support him. And I hope so. If he gets dropped on Thursday, man, Arteta needs firing. But yeah, I'd have loved to have seen Ceballos in there, but without Ceballos, it ain't going to work. Or without someone going forward, Ceballos might not be the best option, but just someone like an attacking midfielder, someone who's going to run with you. Like, even like a Joe Willock would do it. He'd support Odegaard more than Elneny because he goes forward more, but Odegaard didn't get enough support today. So 4, you can't really blame him for not a very good performance.
Okay, just before we get into the bench, Lucas says Aubameyang 0. Aubameyang needs to go. Jacob says because Aubameyang scored the hat-trick, he's going to play him the whole season. That's why Laka should have started instead of Aubameyang. Martin Elias Striker says Arsenal fan reviews on Thursday. GoNexpress said he wouldn't start Aubameyang. AJ said he wouldn't start Aubameyang. And I think all of you are absolutely crazy. I will tell you why when you do the preview. You cannot bench Aubameyang in your most important game. He didn't have any service today. How many crosses can you put for Aubameyang in between the tall defenders every single game?
Glenn.
Every single game.
My answer to that. He had.
I agree with Lacazette starting.
No,
against
but
City.
Aubameyang had 3 opportunities to score against Benfica, which is our most important game, and he missed all of them. So it's not in that game. In that game, he could have won us the game.
But Lacazette has also missed like 15 open chances. I can mention to you 3 that he missed one-on-one against Alisson at Anfield.
But Lacazette will bring you that a little bit extra. If Aubameyang is going to finish those opportunities, I'd love to play him. But Lacazette, he might miss them. If he's going to miss them opportunities as well, he's still going to bring you a little bit more than Aubameyang. So I'd rather Lacazette miss those chances and bring a little bit more going forward than Aubameyang miss them and bring nothing.
Glenn,
but we've been talking with AJ, with the Benfica fans, about playing the high line, and we need pace in our team. You think Lacazette can do that job in behind? I know we were offside like
that's why I'd start
times.
Martinelli personally, but yeah.
Glenn, just quickly, I saw a Spanish report today. It was saying that there's a good chance we're signing Odegaard permanently.
Yeah, there's been a few that are saying that.
I hope. I would take him. I'll take him. At least he does try something. So on the bench, GoNexpress, Lacazette came on in the 70th minute.
2. I mean, I don't blame him for a poor performance again, but 2, he didn't have enough time to come on, and we're going to get into that in Arteta's rating. But you had enough time to do something, and he did nothing, and Smith Rowe did nothing as well. I'm going to give him a 2. They weren't poor, and I think it's mainly because we'd given up at that point. But come on, like, you're coming on the pitch, do something, I forgot. I'll be honest. I forgot Lacazette even came on, and same for Smith Rowe. I forgot they even came on because we just did nothing going forward when they came on. As soon as Odegaard came off, everything going forward was it was silent. Like, it was done. Everything went it ended. So 2 for Lacazette and Smith Rowe.
HJ Smith Rowe, you muted.
Yeah, sorry about that. For the rest of the substitutes, including Smith Rowe, I'm not really going to give them a rating. Even Lacazette, I don't think they offered much to the game. By then, it was just passing around. No team really wanted it, and you could say they could have gone for it more, but they didn't have much time against settling the game and things like that. The substitution should have happened earlier. When the things weren't going right, or we needed a bit more. So, yeah, 5.
Luis and Sabah standard 5.
Yeah, not even going to rate them. Just 5.
Yeah, we did see the concussion substitution for the first time today. I saw a girl asking about it. He looked so confused. But
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Concussion substitution. I like that. Although you're giving City an extra sub, you're just lucky Pep usually doesn't use them like all of his subs. So
I'll say this quickly. I'll say this quickly as well. Yeah, I know that me and HJ aren't the biggest Holding fans, but we are obviously not. We hope he's all right and stuff. Yeah, don't think that we're happy he's injured.
Yeah.
We obviously want him to be all right and stuff. But yeah, just putting that in there.
Could this be
it's not an agenda. It's not an agenda. It's not an agenda against Holding. It's just we don't think he's good enough. But we don't want to see any player get injured. That is definitely a reason why I don't like his performance today. But yeah, I hope he's all right. Obviously, I
enough
hope he's all right.
Enough on Holding. HJ, Mikel Arteta.
The interesting
Arteta today, probably a 4, if I'm honest. Maybe that's nice. I'm not too sure. I didn't give him, in my own reaction, I didn't give Arteta a rating because I don't usually rate the managers, but Arteta probably like a 3 or a 4, something along them lines, because I thought maybe in the starting 11, maybe you could have saved Tierney for Benfica. Maybe you could have not played Murray after he's been out for so long. But yeah, as you can see from Arteta's facial expression there, he's not happy because, he was screaming at them players to keep going. But the players, for some reason, weren't doing enough. And I think that's where you put the blame on the players and not the manager. But tactically and substitutionally wise, he's inept. He doesn't know what he's doing. And for that, 3 or 4, something like that.
An Express Arteta, I'm seeing you boiling up.
One. Awful. Starting 11 again, I didn't agree with it. I don't think Aubameyang should have started. I don't think Tierney should have started, and I still think Pepe should have been on the left. But I can kind of accept that one. But yeah, it's the substitutions again. Shocking. He doesn't know how to make a substitution. We know this. Again, look at Emery. Look how many times Emery brought players on and they made a massive difference. When does Arteta do this? Never. All of them were too late. Just the simple fact that we conceded early again. You can blame the players all you want, but why under 3 managers are we still conceding early? Why are none of these managers fixing this? They should be doing something to fix his problem. He has no idea how to have to change tactics mid-game. If something goes wrong, everything goes wrong. That's it. The game's finished, and we saw it again today. The only reason he doesn't get a 0 is because Willian didn't come on. That's literally it. He gets a 1. You can say that he was shouting at the players and stuff, but I've said it last time. That's acceptable. But then you've got to ask the question, why aren't they listening to you? Yeah. Why aren't you punishing them for not listening to you? Why are they still playing when they aren't listening to you? Drop them, find them, punish them, do something, and he isn't. And you've got to then ask the question again, why aren't they? Do they not believe in what he's saying? Do they not believe in the process that he seems to think he's building? Like, what is it? Exactly. That's what I mean. So if there's no process and the fans don't believe it, why would the players believe it? Like, there's nothing to believe in with Arteta for me, and the players have lost hope. They're playing for themselves at this point. They're playing for a bit of dignity, and even then, they're not even succeeding in it. So,
out of let's say 100%, how many times does he make the wrong sub? How many times?
Every time.
Out of 100%?
Every time.
No, like give me a number. 100%.
Yeah.
Honestly, one you believe.
The last time I remember making him a good substitution was the first game of the Europa League group stage against Rapid Vienna, where he brought on Bellerin and Aubameyang, and they combined for. That's the only time. I can remember.
Was that that's the only time since he came?
On the top of my head.
Okay, we are just going to forget that he brought on Sabas to win us the Sheffield United quarterfinal last season in the FA Cup. That's fine. We're just going to forget that more.
There's 2 out of how many games he's been in.
I can mention.
The question is, how many in the Premier League season this season? How many has he got right? Pretty much none.
Yeah, I agree that. But yeah, since he came, maybe to make a list.
Predictable as well. managers know.
Yeah. And look at Pep, right? He brought off De Bruyne about the 63rd minute for Jesus. Jesus didn't score, but he brought that little bit of extra like firepower going forward. He took off De Bruyne to save him for Gladbach, let's be honest. But that's a substitution. It's bringing off a player who hasn't been fit and has been injured recently and bringing someone on who has enough time to make an impact. And Jesus didn't score, but he made an impact.
Okay, so Arsenal fan reviews, I'll give you this Gun Express. Arsenal fan reviews asks about back four, because we have a couple of centre backs coming back. So back four for the rest of the season: Tierney, Gabriel, Luis, Cedric. Who would you go for?
Exact same. As I say, I'm a massive Luis lover. Everybody knows that. I'm an open Luis lover. Gabriel is better than Holding, and Mari's. Again, I've said it with Mari, right? He's been good the games that he's played, but how good really is he? He's only played 10 games for Arsenal, so how good actually is he? And that's yet to be seen from me. But Gabriel, Luis are the best. You know, Tierney, don't even need to talk about that one. And then Cedric, 20 times better than Bellerin. And that kind of says something, doesn't it? Because Cedric ain't even the best right back in the world. So,
okay. Hey, AJ, as one fan reviews also ask, who would you bring in if Arteta was sacked?
Right now, to save our season, I said this on Nigal's channel. Now, Allegri, he would give us a better. Let me ask you this again. I asked someone this on Nigal's channel. I'll ask you this: do you think if Allegri came in right now, he'd give us a better chance of winning the Europa League?
Nope. Europa League? Yeah, Europa League. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Europa League. Yeah, I thought you're talking about the next
how can
season.
You say that with a straight face?
For me, the manager I wanted instead of Arteta was Ancelotti. Don Carlo. He's the man. Seriously, for me, Don Carlo is the best manager currently in the world. Maybe Pep Guardiola can go ahead of him, but he's better than Mourinho. He's won more than pretty much every manager in the world except Mourinho and Pep Guardiola. He's underrated, and look what he's done with the teams that he's been at. Like, look what he's doing with Everton. Perfect example. Look what he's just beaten Liverpool, and he sat there sipping his tea. Like, he doesn't care. Like, it's just a day in the office for him beating his biggest rivals at Anfield. That's just a day in the office.
Okay, who was your man of the match from the Arsenal team?
Leno or Saka, but overall, Mahrez, he was a beast. What a player.
Okay. AJ, man of the match in general and in the Arsenal team?
Leno.
And then for the match?
For the match, probably Mahrez or Diaz.
Very, very good. Diaz should have picked up a yellow card though when he fouled Aubameyang, and that is what I don't understand with the referees, AJ. I always complain about that every single week. Such things, Shaka does it, gets a yellow immediately, and you guys apparently have said it's not supposed to be a yellow, so I usually don't understand that. But yeah, the prediction for Benfica. Can I express last question?
Oh man, I don't even want to predict it because every time I predict a win, we always we don't win. Like,
would you be more confident if it was at the Emirates?
I don't think it matters. There's no fans. Yeah. Like, it don't matter, does it? Look how poor we've been at the Emirates anyway. I'm kind of happy we're not playing at the Emirates. But a lot of people say, oh, you know, we're playing at Olympiacos Stadium. It's written in the stars that we're going to lose. We won there last time. I'll be confident. 2-1 Arsenal. You know, we'll win, what is it, 3-2 on aggregate, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. 2-1 Arsenal.
Is AJ there?
Oh, yeah.
Prediction?
0-0, we go through on away goals.
Well, that wouldn't be good for Hearts now, would it? If they're attacking in the last 10 minutes, we would be like a nervous strike in this team. But I believe...
And what's going to happen is Vertonghen's going to miss an open goal in the 96th minute.
Yeah. Put some money on that. Put some money on that.
As United get their customary penalty every single game, United have received another penalty. I hate that team. I always say that every single day. But yeah, I believe this man will do the job in the Europa League. Gun Express and HJ. The man himself will do the job. Pick up the right team. He'll make the right substitutions.
I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day he gets sacked. I'm going to rub it in your face so much, Glenn.
So yeah, it's a 1-0 defeat against City. That's 4 in a row. That's their 18th win in a row. Something crazy. They have scored 32 goals and conceded 3 in the last 13 games, man. That is mad, man. How I wish you would have had such kind of a record. But yeah, thank you to Gun Express again. Where can they follow you?
YouTube channels, the Gooner Express. I'll be doing a match reaction plus player ratings later tonight, and on Twitter and Instagram, it's just Gooner Express _.
Okay, and then make sure you follow HJ90 as well, or you want to give a shout out? Is it that?
Yeah, just on the YouTube and on the Twitter. That's it. I've already uploaded my match reaction. Go check that out.
If you're a fan of Arteta, I can urge you not to follow them. But yeah, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.